Tonight we're going to be going over the NFC North season predictions. Y'all know my my setup, hopefully. If you don't, what we do is I give each game, from the perspective of the team I'm going over, a rating 1 through 4 as how likely I think they are to win the game. 1 being unlikely, 2 being a toss-up, 3 being a likely win in their favor, and then 4 being a definite win in their favor. This is all my opinion, my prediction. I'm not omniscient. I'm gonna be wrong. So, with that said, let's get started. We're gonna start with Pittsburgh. Oh, sorry. Let me tell you the triggers for number 1. Rating number 1 is gonna be Pens. Rating number 2 is gonna be my Rings. Rating number 3. Scissor cuts. And 4. The shaky sound. And then this is the ball of ponderment. I just kind of, I'm thinking about, decision to make, and I don't want to leave just empty sound, I know it kind of has the ring sound with it. I'm going to try to space it out. That's failing miserably at the moment. Okay, it's going to have some ring sounds with it. I'm sorry. But let's get started. Well, thank you for watching. Week 1 for Pittsburgh is going to be at Buffalo, starting off the season real tough. Pittsburgh's defense, I think, is going to be solid. Their linebackers seem really well set up. Bud Dupree, Devin Bush, his first name, Bush. Who saw the other edge? Oh, T.J. Watt. Like I said, the linebackers are solid. Their secondary seems pretty solid too, especially given safeties. Their D-line probably, it looks about the same as it always has. Not stellar, but not stellar. Not as stellar as it normally is because of age. But they should be a good defense. Their offense. Their O-line is very skeptical. It's a lot of new faces. Their center retired. Their right tackle. Villanueva's right tackle. Right tackle is now in the Ravens. Yikes on that. Instead of drafting an offensive line, they drafted a running back to run behind it, which Najee Harris is an absolute threat. I love him. I just don't love that O-line, and I don't love Ben's declining arm and declining age, and sure, he still pops off like twice a year, but he's not great the rest of the year, in my opinion, from my observation. Receivers look good, but not scary. Freiermuth was a good pickup in the second round, I guess, but once again, whereas the lineman wasn't really. I'm just scared of that line. I don't think they're gonna function that well. Let's get started. The Hall of Fame game is today. It has the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Dallas Cowboys. So we're gonna start with Pittsburgh. I'm going to give them a 1 against Buffalo, at Buffalo. After I give a number for all of these, I'll give them a point rating, and because I'm smart this time, I'm going to be assigning them a W or a L for which I think is going to happen, even on the 2s. So this is obviously an L. Week 2, at home versus the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm gonna give them a 2, but I'm also gonna give them a dub. Week 3 at home versus Cincinnati. I'm gonna give them a 2, and I'm gonna give them an L. Hold on, let me catch up. was for both Las Vegas and Cincinnati because I did 2 in a row. Forgot to do both of them. Week 4 at Green Bay. That's a 1. That's a loss. Let's get it going with some clicks. Week 5 at home versus Denver. I'm gonna give them a 2 and an L. Week 6 at home versus Seattle. I'm gonna give them a 1 and an L. Bye week. Week 8 at Cleveland. I'm gonna give them. I'm gonna give them a 2 and an L. I think Cleveland's gonna be better. Cleveland had their number at the end. Yeah, in the playoffs, I guess. It's at Cleveland. Week 9. At Chicago. Oh no, week 9 at home versus Chicago. I'm gonna say it. Am I gonna say it? Yeah, screw it, I'm gonna say it. This is Justin Fields' first win. Two and a no. I'm gonna do something I haven't done before. I'm gonna be retroactive. I'm gonna go and give the 2 rating I have for Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. I'm gonna go ahead and give that a 3, just because it's early in the year. So it's crazy that Mike Tomlin hasn't had a losing season yet, and now that it's going to be odd numbers to finish the year, it's probably going to happen sooner than it would have before. I think he's had an 8-8 year. I'm not sure. So he'll probably. I think it's going to be the worst year for the Steelers in a good while, but I think they'll rebound next year. To be honest, they just need to get that line and maybe a new quarterback. Week 10 at home versus Detroit. I'm also going to give it a 2. Win or loss? Defense wins it for him. That was the hardest I've thought about a game so far. Well, in this video. Week 11 at the Los Angeles Chargers. That's a fat 1 and a fat L. All aboard the Justin Herbert hype train. Choo choo. Week 12 at Cincinnati. I'm going to give it a 2, and I'm going to give them an L. Week 13 versus Baltimore. I'm gonna give them a 2, and I'm gonna give them a W because it's a divisional game, and they usually, it's a divisional game, especially with a good rivalry division, good rivalry divisional game. This being one of them. The NFC East is pretty good for them too. The Cowboys, Eagles. I'll get to that when I get to the NFC East. The NFC East has a really interesting rivalries system that I've noticed. I'll get to that when I get to the NFC East. But to finish my point on Pittsburgh Steelers versus Baltimore, division games, tough, angry, mean. That usually negates a good bit of like the finesse and just the fact that some teams are just better than others. That being said, Baltimore could run away with it. Lamar could literally run away with it. At Week 14 at Minnesota. What did I give him? I think I gave him a 2 last. I think I did the NFC. No, I think I gave him a 2. I just want to double check. It doesn't really matter much, but I just want to check. Minnesota. That's a 1. Late season Minnesota might be something, and they also might be starting Kellen Mond, but I don't think they will be. I think Kirk Cousins is going to be fine, at least for another year and a half, or something like that, until they decide that they want to try that rookie quarterback. Not rookie quarterback, but that rookie contract quarterback. Week 15 versus Tennessee. I'm going to give them a 2. And I'm also going to give them an L. Wow, a lot of these toss-up games I have them losing. Kansas City. That's a fat one, my man. Fat one, my dude. Kansas City, sorry, L. I've given the Pittsburgh Steelers so far 1-3, and it was retroactive. Not very optimistic on the Steelers this year, apparently, which no shock to me, honestly. Week 17 versus Cleveland. Two, L. I know some of y'all wanted longer rings. The amount of 2s I've just given. Given is enough to just do a whole bunch of rings. I've been kind of neglecting this hand, so I'm sorry. I don't know if you like the tambourine more, some more. That was a whole bunch of 2s. So last week of the season for the Steelers, week 18 at the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to give them a 1, even though it's a divisional game. I think the Ravens are that much better. Okay. First, let's tally up the win-loss prediction. And then I'm going to do the number value I give them. Four and 13 is my record prediction. Sorry, Steelers fans. Hell, the O-line might just, play decent, and then all of a sudden you have an offense and a defense. So I could very easily 100% be wrong about all of this. My hair's not agreeing with me. 28 is the number value they've earned out of my prediction. The Baltimore Ravens. 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 The Baltimore Ravens though. I don't know how to do a DMV accent, so I'm gonna do what I can. Okay, ready? Go Ravens. That was awful. I know it's okay. Week 1 at the Week 1 at the Raiders. Very close to Ravens. I'm going to give them a 2, but I'm going to give them a dub. Week 2, at home versus Kansas City. Pretty sure I gave them a 3 when I was doing the Chiefs one. So now I'm torn if whether or not I should line it up with what I gave the Chiefs. No, I gave them 2. Cool. I gave them 2. That makes sense. Good, because that's what I wanted to give. That's what I wanted to give the Ravens right now. That just confirms that I'm just going to have to follow my gut and see if it lines up the whole way through, and if it doesn't, then I'm just a hypocrite. And that's okay. Well, no, it's not, but in this instance, it is. W. Week 2, at home versus Kansas City for the Baltimore Ravens. A W. 4. W and a 2. Sorry, a W for the Ravens. Week 3, Detroit. At Detroit. 3. W, obviously. Why am I doing so many noises like that? At Denver, 3 and a W. Probably doing a lot of stimulators this one. Week 5 at home versus Indianapolis. I'm going to give them a 4. I'm going to give them a 4 because Indianapolis is going to be without Carson Wentz, and it's probably going to be without Quentin Nelson as well. Nick Foles, it might be traded there. Nick Foles is just bragging about the new head coach for the Colts, so probably trying to schmooze his way over there. He's probably vouching for it now, like into the head or higher ups or whatever, but I'm sure they already know. Either way, I don't think Nick Foles or I can't remember the actual quarterback's name right now, Slough or something like that, for the Colts. I don't think either of them are going to make their offense work more than just Jonathan Taylor and not Marlon Mack, because I think he's still injured. Naheem Hines. Hopefully they can change. They can make me wrong though. Their defense is gonna be okay, but like Quentin Nelson without your best lineman, and doesn't look good for Indy. Easy way to say it, doesn't look good for Indy. Step. Week 6 at home versus the Los Angeles Chargers. I think I'm gonna give them a 2. Yeah, I'm gonna give them a 2. 2 and I can't give them. Loss at home to the Los Angeles Chargers. Oh, yeah, I did right. I thought I said San Diego. That's probably really loud. I should stop doing that. It's probably also not very good for my glasses. And I like seeing, so. At week 7 at home versus Cincinnati. I'm going to give them a dub, and I'm just reverse order. I'm going to give them a 3. Week 8's a bye. Week 9 is at home versus Minnesota. I'm going to give them a 3 and a dub. Week 10 at Miami. I'm going to give it a 2, and I'm going to give them an L. I do not think 2 is that good. I take it back. I'm going to give them a dub. I just remembered the Xavier Howard thing. Yeah, he's gone. There goes their best corner, and their defense gets worse by a large bit because of that. I think the defense is going to be better than they were last year, too. And they were pretty good last year. So it's a 2 and a dub. But just because of Xavier Howard. Sorry, the defense is going to be better than last year if they kept Xavier Howard. I keep forgetting that. I'm sorry. Xavier Howard's gone. Their defense is going to be worse because of it. However, the other parts of their defense, not including corner, are going to get better, so that may help make up for it. But losing a top 3 corner in the league is never good. Why does my mustache not want to breathe today? Speaking of losing your top cornerback, week 11 is at Chicago. 3 and a dub. Week 12 versus Cleveland. I'm gonna give him 2 and a dub. Oh, I totally gave snips for Miami. I'm sorry. Gotta do extra ring clack then. Week 13 at Pittsburgh. 2, right? Yeah, 2. 2 and an L. Well, I'm gonna speed up a little bit, as I always do about halfway through these videos. At Cleveland, 2 and a loss. At home versus Green Bay, I'm gonna give them 2 and loss. I had the Ravens going on a 3-game losing streak. Wow. At Cincinnati, I think if they go on a 3-game losing streak, they're gonna end up tearing it up. And I have to give it the next game, and I'm gonna give them a 2 because it's at Cincinnati, but I'm gonna give them a dub because of the 3-game losing streak prior. And I feel like they're gonna obviously be playing angry, and I feel like John Harbaugh is a good coach. So, 17 at home versus the Rams. I want to give them a toss-up. 2? 2? That's really, yeah, it's a 2. That's a real tough call. I'm going to give them dub because they're at home. And the Rams have to fly across the country. I know it's not like a big major difference, but like, when I'm torn between those two teams, like really torn, that might as well be the difference maker because it's probably going to be a game of like what, 2 points, 3 points. My hair's not wanting to agree with it. It's really bothering me. But I'm not gonna let it show. I will say it out loud though. You know what? This might be Big Ben's. Oh, sorry. I mean to be announced before I explain why I'm laughing. Week 18 at home versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. This might be Big Ben's last hurrah. I don't want to see potential Hall of Fame quarterback go out with a whimper in a puff of smoke. And Big Ben he could go off. He could throw for like 6 touchdowns and be like, let's maybe do one more year. Or if he could just throw for 6 touchdowns and be like, yeah, I'm done with that. I did that enough times. Or 5 touchdowns, whatever. But my gut is telling me 4. So I'm gonna give them a 4. Okay. Oh, let's do some numbers and whatnot. Let's do some letters first. I have them going 13 for the opposite of the Steelers record. Now let's see what the number is. Well, mine went that way. 43 is the number I have given the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Man, I'm printing myself way too much this video. But here I am doing it still. Okay, we're gonna roll with it. The Cleveland Browns. Thank you for watching. The Cleveland Browns are next. The Cleveland Browns, the TV show Cleveland Browns are next. We're gonna be talking about the characters and the plot points of that TV show and how funny it is. I'm entirely lying to you. That joke probably wasn't very funny anyway, but voila. It has fixed my issues, and like I have fixed my issues, I'm going to fix this. I'm speaking gibberish at this point. Week 1, Kansas City. At home. I'm going to give them a 2, and I want to give them a win so bad. I'm going to give them an L. I want to give them a win so bad. I'm going to give them an L. Week 2. Because it's an L, and the Cleveland Browns are going to be a good team this year. Yes. Okay. The Cleveland Browns are going to get a 4 to beat the Houston Texans in week 2. The Houston Texans. I should probably stop doing that. The Houston Texans. Week 3 at home versus Chicago. 3 home games in a row. I'm gonna give them a 3 and a dub. Week 4 at Minnesota. I'm gonna give them a 2. And I'm gonna give them a dub. . Week 5 at the Los Angeles Chargers. 2 loss. Week 6 at home versus the Arizona Cardinals. 2 win. Week 7 at home versus Denver. A 3, barely, and a win. Week 8 at home versus Pittsburgh. I think I'll give it a 2. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 2 and a dub. Week 9 at Cincinnati. I'm gonna give them a 2, and I'm gonna give them a loss. Week 8, no, I lied. Week 10 at New England. Week 10 at New England. Week 10 at New England. Two and a loss. Week 11 at home versus Detroit. I'm going to give them a 3 and a dub. Week 12 at Baltimore. I'm going to give them 2 and a loss. Bye week 13. Week 14 at home versus Baltimore. So they get Baltimore bye week, then Baltimore. And I think that almost guarantees them a win. And okay, that doesn't guarantee them, but definitely gives them a good advantage in the win to get the win. It's a 2 in my opinion, and it's a win. At home versus Las Vegas, week 15. I'm gonna give them a 3 and a win. Retroactive. Week 16 at Green Bay. I'm gonna give them a 2 and a loss. Week 17, Week 17 at Pittsburgh. 1, no. Normally, I'd think Pittsburgh would get a win this late in the season against Cleveland. And he very well might. He very well have the last raw week early because he knows the Ravens are going to kick his ass. So he could throw his 5 touchdown game this week. But I think Cleveland's going to be shooting for a playoff spot, or at least shooting for a good playoff seeding. And I think they're going to want to get like as many wins as they can. Hello? So I feel like they're going to really be fighting for that one. So I'm going to give them a dub there. A 2 as well. And to close out the Cleveland Browns season, Week 18 at home versus Cincinnati. I'm going to give him a 3 and a dub. I'm going to give him a 3. Let's do some calculations. I have the Browns going 11 and 6. Yeah. It's worth noting. I think Cleveland's I think Cleveland's more likely to win an extra game than 11, so I think they're more likely to go 12 and 5. And sorry, not more likely. Yeah, I think they're more likely to go 12 and 5 than they are to go 10 and 7. And for Baltimore, I think they're more likely to go 12 and 5 than they are to go 14 and 3. That makes sense. Meaning, I think out of my calculations, I feel like the Ravens are more likely to lose a game more than I think than they are to win, and I think the Browns are more likely to win another game than I think than they are to lose another game than I think. And I think the Steelers are more likely to win a game than I think than they are to lose another game than I think. Numbers. The Cleveland Browns get a number rating of 41. And lastly, let's get on with the last team in the division, the Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals. They're Cincinnati, they're Cincinnati, they're Bengals, Cincinnati Bengals. Who they? The Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals. Sin City, baby. That's what they should call it. That's what they should call it. Screw Las Vegas. Cincinnati has sin in the name. Week 1 for the Cincinnati Bengals at home versus Minnesota. I'm going to give them a 2 and a loss. Week 2 at the Chicago Bears. I'm gonna go ahead and give them a W and a 2. Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm gonna give them a 2. I think. No, 1. Yeah, I'm gonna give them a 1 because it's early season and it's being an L. week 4 at home versus Jacksonville. It's gonna be a 2, and if Trevor Lawrence starts, what I think he will, and I'm not saying this because I think Trevor Lawrence is that much better than Gardner Minshew, because I like Gardner Minshew a lot. I just think Urban Meyer is going to maximize Trevor Lawrence more than he's going to maximize Gardner Minshew. So I think their offense would be better with Trevor Lawrence, but I don't think every offense in the league would be better with Trevor Lawrence, if you know what I'm saying. Most would. Almost all would. But I'm going to assume Jacksonville's starting Trevor Lawrence here, given he's the #1 overall pick. I'm going to give him an L to the Jags. Hair in my eye. Yeah, it's a hair in my eye. I forget how long my hair is now. Week 5 at Green Bay. No, week 5 at home against Green Bay. I'm going to give them a 1 and an L. I need to go back and do this. Go back and do this. Let's go back and do this one more. Week 6 at Detroit. I'm gonna give them a 2 and a W because it's at Detroit. I give them a 3 if it was at home, to be honest. Week 7 is at Baltimore, and I'm gonna give them a loss and a 1. At the New York Jets, I'm going to give them a 2 and a dub. Week 9, I'm gonna another at home against the Browns, and I'm gonna give them a 2, and a W. I'm gonna give them a 2 and a W. And at the bye week. Well, I've done a lot of 2s this video. Like I said, the bye week. Week 11 is at the Las Vegas Raiders, and I'm gonna give them a 2 and a W. I've had everybody beat the Raiders, man, so far. Week 12 at home versus the Steelers. I'm going to give them a 2 and a W. Week 13 is at home against the Chargers, and I'm going to give them a 2 and a loss. Throwing my arm out doing this. Bad jokes. At home, this is the San Francisco 49ers. 2 and a loss. Week 15. at the Denver Broncos. 2 and a, it's real tough. I'm gonna give him a loss. Week 16 at home versus the Baltimore Ravens. I'm gonna give them, I think, a 1, right? No, I'm gonna have a 2 and a loss. Well, that's 4-2 losses, 4-2 and a loss in a row, in my opinion. At home versus Cincinnati, I'm gonna give them a 1 and a loss. Last game of the season is at Cleveland, and I'm going to give them a 1 and a loss. Wow. Cincinnati, I'm sorry. I have you losing 6 games to finish the season. I hope that doesn't happen to you, because that would just hurt. To the numbers. Then I'm going to do a little extra rings, and I'm going to do some talking about each individual team, and then we're going to be done. I have been going 6 and 11. 29. I have them being 6 and 11 and getting a sort of and a 29 out of my ratings. I'm gonna do a little extra of this. I'm also gonna talk over it. A little extra ring sounds for you. So when it comes to, let's go in reverse order, the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't know why they decided to let go of, well, pay this exact same money that Carl Lawson signed with the New York Jets for. Took that money and paid a worse edge rusher and Trey Hendrickson from the Saints. That doesn't make sense to me. Their O-line looks better. They fixed the guard issue, which is a big issue. More receivers. Joe Burrows can be happy. Got a running back too. Tyler Boyd's phenomenal. T. Higgins is going to be a decent number 2, and Jamar Chase should be an alpha. Progress. Not great, but progress. My record might not show it, but the team's going to be better. For Cincinnati. Now moving on to Cleveland. Cleveland got better defensively. Cleveland, well, arguably, if Connie can be as good as he wants, as good as he should be, they're going to be good. If JOK performs better than his draft position, which he should, then they should also be well. If they use him properly, they should. They worked well on offense last year. No reason why they shouldn't this year. And then, just being the Browns in general, because the Browns do be being the Browns. Then Baltimore. About the same on D, in my opinion. Secondary is still phenomenal. The middle of the defense is getting better. It's pretty damn good. And then you look at the D line, and the D line, that's where they're getting real. That's where they're always good. Regardless who lines up out on the edge, they're going to pressure the quarterback. It's just how it works. And given that they just drafted Jason Owe, not Jason. I think it's Odafe. I don't want to say that and be wrong. They drafted defensive end Owe out of Penn State. I think that's what it is. He's fast as hell with the proper teaching, which is going to give him. He's going to be great off the edge, and then to pair and learn from Justin Houston, who I wanted my team to sign, but no, he did decline. He did turn down more money, he said. They're going to be really good on defense, as always. Lamar should be good. Running back should be good. Line might be a little bit worse than last year, but not by a large margin. Receivers should be better than last year by a pretty decent margin, probably more than the line is worth, you know what I mean? So the offense as a whole should be better. their defense should be about the same level, maybe even better. Pittsburgh I've already talked about in terms of their O-line. Probably going to hold O-line and quarterback play. Potentially, probably going to hold the team back as a whole. The defense should keep them in games. To go from the prediction, for my prediction and my engine / thought process, whatever you want to call it, simulation. This is the AFC North. In fourth place, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. The first time in last place in a long time, Pittsburgh Steelers. They are going to go, according to me, 4-13, potentially 5-12. They score a 28 out of my I don't know possible points, but a large amount. They score a 28 on my score. Directly above them is the Cincinnati Bengals with a 6-11 record and a 29 point score. I could see the Bengals even going 8-11. 8-9. No, sorry, 8-9. I can see the Bengals going 8-9, and I could also see them going 9-8 if they really just decide to get their offense like humming. But they're not gonna be an offensively driven team. But at the moment, they're just above the Steelers. I don't think that's appropriate to how good of a team they are. I just think their schedule kind of puts them in a spot like that where it's kind of tough. In third place, I have the Cleveland Browns with a record of 11-6, potentially 12-4, and they score a 41 on my rating list. And then at the top of the AFC North, I have the Baltimore Ravens with a record of 13-4. Potentially, I could see them going 12-5. I could see Cleveland and Baltimore both getting the same record. But at the moment, I'm predicting 13-4, and they got to score a 43 with me. That's 2 points higher than Cleveland's. 2 points is not a huge amount, but it's decent. Not decent. It's a small amount. They should win their division. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you stuck around this far. If you like the NFL, awesome. If you don't, that's fine. If you, whatever reason you're here, thank you. I love you. I don't love you, but I love you. Thank you for watching, and I hope this was good. So sweet dreams.